From a room next to my bathroom in my basement, this is My Worst Holiday, a podcast about your worst wedding, funeral, bachelor party, bachelorette party, or whatever's funny after the fact. We want to hear it. And today, we have a very special guest, Mr. Scott Schwartz. Scott, say hello.
Hello, everybody. Is there actually like a worst funeral?
Yeah, oh, God.
Is there the best funeral?
This is no kidding. This is no kidding. Well, one of the funerals for my uncle, my cousin is a stripper. She showed up a little bit late and had to do a wardrobe change in the middle. Another one was somebody farted at my mom's funeral. Somebody farted out loud at my mom's funeral.
But I mean, that's a natural body thing, and it does happen. I mean, I would think like the worst funeral would be like, as we were driving into the cemetery, the casket fell out of the hearse. Now that would be, a bad thing, but
now I did work at a car dealership and a hearse did break down on the way to they had to bring the hearse into the shop. They didn't do any unloading while they're on their way. So.
No, and the lift still worked with everything in the car, so it's okay,
Yeah. So like everybody, so they were there was actually a human being who was late for their own funeral. So.
I got a friend of mine, and he is late for everything, and I have actually joked with him several times. I'm like, dude, you're going to be late for your own funeral. There's no question about it. Hey, I mean,
like some people, it drives me nuts. I've got to be on time for everything. I've got to be on time. I'm
normally early or on time or whatever. But when he says, "Yeah, let's meet for lunch at 11:30," I know that's 12:30 to 12:45.
That's when you start to lie to him and tell him it's be there
dinner,
at
5 o'clock, 6:30. God forbid he say I'm coming over at like 9 o'clock at night. It's like I've got to burn the candle at both ends and go make coffee because 10:30, 11 he shows up.
No kidding. Yeah, no, I've got friends like that. We call it like our friends. I'm not going to say which one it is. They should know. But anyway, I'm going to say it's them people's time. That came out totally wrong. My friends' time, who are Caucasians. So it's like,
well, yeah, it's like if I say my friend Gary.
Yes.
The only person that knows who I'm talking about would be Gary.
Would be Gary, yeah.
It's like, okay,
it's Dustin. It's Dustin. Dustin, it's you.
Yeah, no, see, I don't know him. I'm sure he's a nice guy and all that. But,
he is. Oh, they're fantastic.
He's just habitually late. That's fine. Gary is the same way. And he has narcolepsy.
Oh, God.
It is the funniest thing you've ever seen in your life. Because he'll literally be sitting in front of you, or he'll be standing in front of you. That's even better. And you'll be having a conversation with, and in the middle of a sentence, all of a sudden, he'll be like, so anyway. And I'm like, dude, come on, it's 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Oh, yeah. He's an autograph chaser. So he runs to the screenings, airports, and whatever. And there's actually pictures that friends have taken of him holding a photo in the autograph, like the line that they go down, they walk down, everybody signs.
Right.
He'll actually be on the line with his hand out with the piece of paper or the photo or whatever. And he's
now out he goes.
You have dinner with him, lunch with him. I mean, I got pictures of him fast asleep. I mean, it's the funniest thing you've ever seen.
I'm also giving shout outs like I always do. Fred Carroll from A Dude in the Hen House is watching. You've been on Fred's show before.
Okay.
Yeah, good dude. My brother Alan, he's got a show called Daddy and Daughter Eat Weird Food Combinations. That's on YouTube. You can find him there. So these guys are watching. We're talking to Scotty Schwartz, and he has plenty of stories from the WWF. And I just love this WWF stories. No, not saying that one. So the guys like how many of these autograph things do you do like per year or per month or?
It's not really per month. It's, normally a couple during the year from January to like July, August. And then I'll do, a half a dozen or so, September, October, November, December. It just depends,
Yeah.
Myself and Jerry Lawler, we're going to be at WWE Hall of Famer. I'm supposed to say that too,
There you go.
We're going to be at the National Sports Convention the end of July in Cleveland. We're going to be
awesome.
a front area guest, the two of
Tell
us.
Jerry to come on my show.
No,
I know.
let him heal up.
Hey,
let him heal up a little bit more.
I wouldn't be doing my job if I didn't ask.
Well, no, I understand that. Just he's still trying to get back to somewhat normalcy.
Oh yeah.
I'm not saying he's in failing health, bad health. I'm not saying any of that. So I don't want anybody to pick up and go, "Oh my God, Scott Schwartz said Jerry Lawler's on his deathbed," because he's not, at all.
Did you hear what Scott said?
Yeah. He's just, his speech is coming back slowly but surely.
Yeah. I've had actually a couple friends in the last year that had strokes, like young. God, terrible.
Yeah. So I mean, he's on his way, but he's been going out and doing some appearances. So we'll be at the National Sports Convention Cleveland the end of July, and then we're doing the CSE show up in Toronto, which is going on like a whole bunch of August into September. We'll be there Memorial Day weekend. Labor Day weekend?
Labor Day.
Labor Day weekend.
Yes, yesterday was Memorial Day.
Yeah.
We missed that one. We missed that
Sorry,
one.
I didn't mean to mix it up. Sorry, anybody. I won't be touchy. So we're going to be up there. We have Ohio. He has Ohio in a couple of weeks. And then I'm doing Ohio, I believe, the beginning of December. It's like an hour and a half south of Cleveland, somewhere. Oh my goodness, I can't remember the name of the town. Hartsville. Yeah, Ohio will be there.
Is that North Carolina or
no? Ohio.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like I remember, like Hartsville, like being like on some of those old wrestling programs that I used to watch. With Lawler on it. Like Mississippi Mountain or whatever the hell.
Well, he was Memphis Championship Wrestling, but they had Mississippi Valley.
Yeah.
They had a lot of the different territory stuff, the Paphos.
And they were playing those like on, what was it? Was it on Amazon that you could find those old ones? I can't remember what it was on.
Well, I mean, it's still on Peacock on WWE. They have a whole bunch of that stuff. Yeah.
Oh,
I don't think they got the Paphos stuff. I don't know if they put it up yet, but I know that they have it.
Really?
Yeah. They got all of Randy Savage's old original stuff with the family because they had taken out a loan with a bank.
Yeah.
And for the loan, they gave them all their old master tapes as collateral. There's no cable in the early 70s.
Right, exactly.
There's nothing,
Right.
And the loan never got paid back, and it sat in the vaults for decades, and somebody found him sitting in the back of a vault and said, "What are these?" And then who else are you going to call but WWE? And hey, by the way, we found this stuff.
We got all the old Papa wrestling.
We're not even sure what's on it, but this is what it says.
Mm-hmm.
And they sent it up, and it was righteous. So they have that. But I think Jerry still has his Memphis stuff.
Yeah. See, that's the stuff like I like watching the old school shit, like the AWA and the Burn Gagne and
AWA, NWA.
Yeah.
The Harley Race, Ric Flair, Dusty Rhodes stuff was great.
Did you see that video of Dusty Rhodes playing basketball?
Mm-hmm.
That dude was fucking nuts. Like he weighed like 350. He's like doing layups and he's running people's ass off down the court.
He was an athletic man.
My God, that was super.
In the words of Gorilla Monsoon, the athleticism.
The athleticism.
Yes.
The testicular fortitude.
Yes. The move.
He's got big balls, everybody.
Those guys, I mean, that era of time.
Yeah.
And, you had Jesse Ventura and you had.
He was my favorite.
Gorilla and Mean Gene early. and you had Vince, during that 82
Mm-hmm.
to like 87 run, 86, 87
Right.
run. I mean, the announcers all around, even the guys that were on, Georgia, and I guess it was World Championship Wrestling at the time.
Yeah.
I mean, they had great announcers. Scully, Bill Scully.
The guy with the mustache and the mullet.
No, he's an older guy. That was
Oh, okay.
was during Jerry's time frame. 60s, 70s.
Right.
He was great. I
I'll
cannot
tell you what, Gorilla Monsoon, if this guy doesn't beat Hogan, I'm going to have to come out of retirement to beat him myself.
Oh, Jesse was a piece of work, man.
Yeah, I loved it.
He was he was fun.
They put me on to come commentate the basketball games back in high school. And I would go into a Jesse Ventura fucking voice. Like, watch out for that handle. And I'm telling you right now, he's a shooter.
Actually, I was looking around my house earlier today. I was trying to find a few things, and I actually found my my ticket from the original XFL from Game 1. I had season tickets the 1 year it was in LA.
No shit.
And I actually found my Game 1 tickets.
That's super cool.
The LA Enforcers, I think they were, or something.
Jensen's watching. They own Platform 31 down here in Peru. So if you're hungry, go down there. Also get a drink. These guys are awesome. I'm talking to Scott Schwartz, and we're talking about a lot of wrestling. So Brian, you're going to love this shit. He has wrestling on 24/7 in his bar.
Oh, well, smart guy.
Like all the old school, all the old school shit.
Well, the old school.
Yeah.
I mean, you literally could just run the pay-per-views and fill your bar every day, because you could just say, listen, we're going to start King of the Ring, the first one, and every night we're going to show the next year. Then you can go to the next, whatever the pay-per-view, SummerSlam, at WrestleMania, whatever, and just show one a night. And you could just pack the place, because people, they love what they see now, which is okay.
Yeah.
So
I prefer the really old school stuff. Kevin Neary from the podcast is watching.
I miss freedom of characters.
Yeah.
Not everybody was just themselves. There were even the guys like Iron Mike Sharp. I mean, Mike Sharp, okay, fine. He's not really portraying, but then he was Canada's greatest athlete, nonsense bullshit. But he had a little something of a character.
Iron Mike Sharp.
Oh, yeah.
got the leather thing there.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, the baloney leather thing. Steve Lombardi, who was the Brooklyn Brawler.
Oh, yeah.
And then the guys that were the jobbers that just got blasted every night. That Freddie Gonzalez. That was the whole thing. That was his name. That was the end of it. That no character
Delivery Jones.
SD. Well, no, SD was Special Delivery Jones.
Special Delivery Jones. Yes.
Yes. I may have seen him win a match. One.
I think I did too. Yeah.
I
can't remember what it was, but I think it was like he had the world's fastest match where I can't remember, was it Kong Bundy or somebody beat him in like 3 seconds?
I think it was like 6.
It was it. Yeah, it was like
they came out, ding ding. He grabbed him, threw him in the corner, like splashed him, just crushed him. Falls down on one. That was the end of that. And you're just thinking to yourself, okay, so that just happened. What match just got extended on the card?
Yeah, no shit.
Brett
Allen from Area 51 is watching. So we got a good bunch of podcasters watching.
Cool.
Yeah. So yeah, that was like I'm pretty sure that you might not know this, but I think it was scripted.
Yeah.
I think they allowed for it.
Yeah.
I think they
they would do that, and then they would do a 2 out of 3 best 2 out of 3 fall steel cage match, but it would be the British Bulldogs against the Hart Foundation, and it would go 55 minutes.
Right.
Now the reason why it went 55 minutes is because the match 2 before went 1 minute and 40 seconds.
Right.
You
Brian said Sheamus beat Danielson and Adamania with 1 kick.
Okay.
All right. And now we know.
Yeah, but I don't know if that was faster than the Bundy one.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I said, it was like 6 seconds or something like that.
Yeah.
Hey, Jacqueline.
I mean, there were some really fun, cool matches that they had. You know, the Stone Cold run was a lot of fun because he
Yeah.
made it fun. You know, I just watched
Well, he was a
the
great character, you know. I mean, go in and hit the beers and always had some, you know, the still comes stunner and all that. Like, I think Pat McAfee sold the best stunner ever during that WrestleMania. He's taking a drink and he fountained it out of his mouth as he fell back. I thought he sold that really, really well.
The Rock always sold it the best, you know.
Oh yeah.
So actually, see if one of your viewers can think of the person beside, because I think it's Jerry Lawler, who came up with the People's Elbow, the name, the People's Elbow. I was at Jerry's last week.
People's Elbow.
I was at Jerry's last week.
Because that's what The Rock was. That's what The Rock was doing. Was the people's.
Well, he was doing the people's eyebrow and all that. He didn't say the people's elbow. And you know, Jerry said no. I think because he was the first one that said it on the air. You know, the people's eyebrow, the people's champ. You know what?
Right. So tell the story about how they used to make you go get beer. How somebody used to make you get beers and hot dogs.
That was Morocco.
Yeah.
Morocco would have me get at least 2 beers and at least 1 to 2 hot dogs. And I was underage at the time. So he actually had the first time in every building, he'd follow me up the back stairway. And the beer and hot dog guy would always be right on the other side there. And I'd be like, how you doing? This is what I need, you know, whatever. And ID. I'm like, I'm not overage, but look, just look behind me. Yeah. And Morocco's going, yeah, it's for me, you know, whatever. And they go, oh, okay, you know, whatever. And about the 6th or 7th time I did it, one of the guys came over to me. He's like, listen, dude, no beers and hot dogs from Morocco. You got to stop doing this for him. I said, what are you talking about? He goes, dude, he puts us in the leg lock, shoves our head in there and starts farting on us. and I'm like, okay, well, what do you want me to do about it? He's like, dude, you can't get him beers and hot dogs anymore. No, if John asked me to go get him beers and hot, that's my job. I'm Mr. Free, as Rene Goulet named me, and I do everything. What do you need? I'll go do it. Okay, fine.
Right.
Give me money, whatever. Listen, all we had was Dominic's and salad. That was catering back then.
Right.
You know, horrible pizza and salad, and you know, I mean, we were lucky if we got Pepsi. Most of the time, it was Coke. I mean, it was just as cheap as possible.
Just Coke.
Yeah, it was. It was the same thing with the motels that there was never a stay at a Hilton or a Hyatt or a DoubleTree. No, Ramada Inn, $40. $40.
There you go.
That was the go-to. $40.
You don't even have to walk inside a place to get to a room. That's all you.
I don't think it was Tito. Oh God. It might have been Rene Goulet and Captain Lou, and there was somebody else, the old school, and maybe Freddie Black, the old school guys, right? In, I want to say Richmond. I think it was Richmond. Next to the Ramada Inn was a travel lodge. See, now WWF had to deal with the Ramada Inn for $40 a night, you see. But if you went to the travel lodge, it was $24.95.
Oh.
And if you didn't spend the $40 a night, you got to keep it. So literally, there were times when some of the other guys
per diem.
Some of the other guys would go over, and you know, you'd see them, you know, after the matches or whatever, from driving guys back to the Ramada and going back and forth. The guys would be like, "Hey, you just want to drop us off at the travel lodge? Why? Oh, we're staying over there. It's only $25 over there." You know,
so you got to keep all that loot that you just saved.
Oh yeah, that $15, man, it was big. You know. Listen, I mean, I roomed.
How much blow did that buy back then?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, I roomed with Piper probably a half a dozen times, maybe 10 times over the course of 17 months because we'd split the room. He'd be like,
Yeah.
give me $20. Okay.
All right.
Got room for $20.
Sounds good.
2 double beds. Okay, fine, whatever.
Yeah, I can't imagine what it's like rooming with Rowdy Piper, like,
It was fun.
yeah.
We most of the time we just talked about acting in Hollywood and different, things about Hollywood. And
Oh, sure.
he loved that. That was his thing.
Yeah, I always liked watching him in an interview where he wasn't the character, where he was just being Piper.
Yeah.
I always enjoyed those interviews, like watching him on that. Like,
Yeah.
I know he didn't do like Barbara Walters or anything, but I can't remember what interviews that he was doing, but like it was cool, like just listening to him as a straight talker talk.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, listen, he was just a good guy. I mean, as I've said before, most of the guys were decent dudes. They want to come in. There was the extroverts, then you had your inverts. You had your Paul Orndorffs.
Yeah.
God rest his soul, rest in peace. He was a total introvert. Came, showed up, did his job, go home. Thanks. Go. We'd never sit down and have a conversation. Now, I mean, I'm sure during the setup for some of the matches and stuff, if there was something to discuss, he'd probably sit there and go, yep.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Mm-hmm. It's that's one of those things that it's like, I gotta ask Bob Orton or Hogan or Valentine, the guys who had a lot of matches with him, and say, did he actually say more than 10 words?
Yeah.
And then of course, once he retired, then everything kind of changed. He wasn't wrestling, and now he can just be Bob.
Yeah. Yeah. Kind of like The Undertaker, Mark.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's always kind of been that way with me.
Mm-hmm.
We've always kind of just shot the shit. We said,
Mm-hmm.
I say, yo, big guy, what's up? Hey, what's going on? How you doing? Whatever. It's being a member of the general public, but yet being on the inside that everybody knows you and you kept kayfabe and you did the right things and you're one of the gang and okay, fine.
Yeah. Awesome. So, what was your? I see. Like, what was your porn credit? What was like? Because I see you had a porn credit. What was that? Next, moving on. I was going to say, what did you stick your tongue to on that one? Let's.
It's Jesus. 24. It's 28 years.
Yeah. Okay.
It's back there somewhere.
It's back there somewhere. All right. And the second
back there somewhere, and nobody cares.
And, I really don't interview. I don't really, me. I don't really do interview kind of questions or anything like that. But I wanted to know, did Ralphie ever pay for your fucking window after he broke into it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Here, actually, I'm gonna show you something very cute.
Okay. That was a great movie, though.
You know what? I
texted you and told you I enjoyed it. So.
Yeah. No, he's got a son and a daughter, and I don't know if I don't think he ever puts photos of them online. So if I show it to you, then it becomes part of the show. And but I was with him. I was with him. Wait, I gotta think for a minute. Did I go to Jerry's first and then go to him? When did I get home? No. Yeah, I saw him 2 weeks ago, and then last week I went to Memphis. No, Ralphie paid for the window.
Okay, all right, there you go.
No.
He said he was going to. I don't know. I just had to ask.
No, Ralphie's a solid guy, man.
He's
a straight up guy. He takes care of business. Now, Schwartz, on the other hand, he didn't pay for dick.
There you go.
Nothing. Yeah.
So, everybody, like, Scott's been on my show several times before. We've talked about a lot of things. He was in the movie The Toy with Richard Pryor. He was him and Richard Pryor were just thick as thieves, just two bugs in a rug. Loved each other. And him and Robin Williams, right? You guys you went on stage after Robin Williams, or
on stage? Yeah, we're on me, Robin, Richard, and Sam Kinison. God, that's crazy. That's crazy. I everybody has that one particular nighttime, whatever in their life, that they can go, oh, well, this happened to me. And it's like, I've been, knock on wood, fortunate that I've had several that I just scratch my head and go, that shit really go down? Did that really happen? It's so now it's like, so if somebody gave me the question, it would be an impossible answer. It's like, give me the one event that you can say is the thing. It would be
which one?
It would be impossible. Do I say being Roddy Piper's son in Philly in a Piper's Pit with Iron Mike Sharp? Or do I say being on stage at the Comedy Store with Robin Williams, Richard Pryor, and Sam Kinison? Forget it. There's absolutely no way to pick that. Or Planet Hollywood opening in Vegas, and I'm sitting at the table with Sylvester Stallone and Frank Stallone, his brother, and Kathy Shower, and next to me was Gina Davis and Rennie Harlan, and the table next to me is Schwarzenegger, and Linda Hamilton. I got pictures from all that crap.
Right.
And it's like, how are you gonna say, oh, this one particular? I can't do it.
Yeah.
Forget it.
No, I wouldn't imagine. It's like people saying, "What's your favorite song?" Have you listened to all the genres? What the fuck?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, you can't. There's rock songs. There's folk songs. There's symphonies. There's there's so many different genres of music. There's hard. There's
I don't know.
Death metal. There's
it would be
It's always gonna say, "What's your favorite one?" One.
It's again, you're right. It's almost it's like
one.
Let it be. Suspicious Minds, Faithfully by Journey.
Oh yeah. I say I like Separate Ways. Separate Ways
are right.
Yeah. Journey.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
I know the song. I know all of them. But But
I celebrate the whole collection.
Yeah, but if you're gonna say, okay, you can only pick a couple or whatever, it would
Yes.
Let It Be, Suspicious Minds. I love Elvis, so it's like CC Rider.
Oh, my wife is she went down a pigeonhole. She got really fucked up when she's like, Elvis didn't write that. I go, no, he didn't write hardly anything, honey. What? And then she's like, she's going down the line. She goes, a lie. My whole life has been a lie. And she's just like,
well, not really, because you don't fall in love with the writer of the song.
Right. She's like,
if I can dream.
Real. She went down this fucking rabbit hole. She's like, such and such didn't write this either. I'm like, honey, people have writers. They're not all.
Most of them, Sinead
O'Connor did not write that. Prince did.
Prince wrote it.
Yes,
exactly. I even knew the song you were going for.
Yeah.
You can. There's like some that argue one way or the other, but to me, it's like the Beatles and McCartney in specific is probably the greatest writer of all time. A close second, I would probably say, is Elton John, but Bernie Taupin wrote the other half. So it's like you've got that double half thing going on. Had Queen kept going, they would probably be in the conversation. But I'd probably say McCartney and then, the Beatles and then Elton and Bernie Taupin. Those are probably for long standing. You're talking decades and decades and decades, and you're scratching your head going, how is this possible?
Yeah. Honey, Beyonce didn't write a lot of her shit either. So and then she lost a Beck, and everybody's throwing this big field. But you look at the back of a Beck album, and it's like vocals, Beck, drummer, Beck, writer, Beck, producer, Beck. It's just Beck.
Why doesn't he just write, I did every damn thing there was?
It's just like album, Beck. Yeah.
That's the end of it.
Kind of like Prince. Prince did the same thing. Prince. I wrote it. I played it. I produced it. I mixed it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's all right.
It's all right. It's all right. As long as we enjoy it. Salute.
Exactly. Listen, everything is not for everybody. There are people that are just country music, love, and then I'm like, yeah, okay, fine, no big deal.
Bob Newhart, I don't disparage people who listen to country music. And for people who listen to country music, disparage means I'm putting you down.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I'm more of an East Coast, the Mid-Eastern states, New York, New Jersey, PA, all that.
yeah,
So we were much more into rock, Broadway ballads, that
yeah,
kind of stuff.
right.
Musicals, because that's what was at our, exposure. It's like every day to television. I don't care what you're watching. If it was Space Ghost, Magilla Gorilla, Schoolhouse Rock, or you're watching Dallas or Dukes of Hazzard, during every commercial thing, it was Oklahoma on Broadway. It was Sugar Babies. It was The Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat. Cats.
Right.
It was
right.
every musical on Broadway. This is what we were
Cats.
exposed to.
Phantom of the Opera.
Yes. No, I'm 70s, early 80s, before Phantom.
Oh wow, you're going back there.
That was later,
Yeah.
So it's really what you're exposed to and kind of where the prior generation comes from. My dad's Michigan and my mom's New York, so there's not really Tennessee and Oklahoma in there, So it was the Streisand, Neil Diamond, Manilow, Carole King, Beatles,
right?
My dad was
being just down from Chicago. I get like all of Chicago's on WGN, which is like the Chicago station,
I know what
and they're promoting the shit out of the Golden Girls play.
Yeah.
And it's all done by guys in drag. And and they just keep repeating the same joke over and over and over. Like, God, I can't wait for this fucking show to close. Please, Rose. You thought Creakin' was an elderly dating app for elders.
It's when you miss that guy, Harry Carey, that could do every commercial and and didn't care what it was because it was hilarious.
Holy cow!
Oh my God! What is going on with it?
A nice cold.
If anybody out there's a comedian. His name is John Campanera.
Yeah.
If you ever get a chance, if he's ever in your area, he's going to be at a club, you have to go. Does the best impressions. One of them that he does that just I go on the floor is Harry Carey. I absolutely just fall on the floor when I hear him do the Harry Carey bit.
Yeah, I've heard of him. I think he's been on Bob and Tom quite a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I've heard him on there.
Yeah. Another friend of mine, Mike Marino, out of Jersey, he does the Italian shtick and the New York shtick and all that kind of stuff. And he's up and down the East Coast, and he comes to California once in a while,
Yeah.
Mike Marino, great guy, old friend. I
just did stand up for the first time in 20 years. I mentioned Platform 31. I just did it down there. They had an opener. He was really good, nice guy, and my mind is racing. And I can't think of the fucking name of him right now. Jeremiah, there it is.
But, I did stand up.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, after Robin Williams and Sam Kinison. God.
And I still had fun.
Yeah.
And it makes it more fun to know that you've done that, so that there's really nothing if I get on a stage again. It's like you kind of map out what you want to do, what you want to say.
Yeah.
Go do it.
Yeah. No, I love it. I love being on stage. I just don't get an opportunity to, so I do this. And this is how I get my funny out. I get I get to talk to people like you, or like last week I had Sam Quassman on. He's the one who does Donald Duck, and little nice guy, just a great friggin' guy, man. But yeah, I get to meet people like you. So.
But I mean, listen, at the end of the day, we're just people, but we like to have fun, and we've done things that are entertaining, and people want to hear some of the memories and stories and things that we've done.
Absolutely.
And life is supposed to be fun. That's
I keep saying that too.
Listen, there are way too many people who take this thing way too serious. That is the problem.
I know I do.
And well, just realize that every day could be the last. It's not necessarily the last, but why be miserable when life is this short?
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
No shit. Yeah, I'm
I mean,
56 now, and I'm like, wait a second.
I think you're a little bit older than me, like a couple of months.
September 19th.
You were 56?
Yeah.
Yeah. 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago? Yeah.
I was 56. So you got me by.
Oh, you was 56. Okay, yeah. So I'll be 57. Yeah. So
say 8-9 months, whatever it is. But
yeah, relatively close. Yep.
It's like
we grew up together, Scott. We grew up together
in different homes.
Different, time zones. But anyway. So what's what's your funniest WWF story?
Funniest WWF story? I don't know, but I mean, funny.
Yep. Or the toy or Toy Story.
They're different animals altogether.
I know. It doesn't matter. Whatever.
Okay, so wait. So I was in Bethesda and I was picking up Nikolai Volkov, Anvil, and another guy who was coming in to do a tryout, whatever.
Yeah.
So I always rented the car. They always gave me the extra $10 for the extra insurance. It was really funny. Whatever. We get in the car and it's about 15 minutes over to the hotel, and they all lit up fatties. They all lit up doobies. Right. So after 4 or 5 minutes of this, I start feeling a little bit uneasy, and I really can't see out the front window because the whole car is smoke. It looked like Fast Times at Ridgemont High. I roll the window down. And Neidhart's like, what are you doing? Jim, I can't see.
Right.
Close the window. People are going to know we're smoking. Jim, if they look at the car.
You can't see in the car, Jim.
It's a big cloud.
See in the fucking car, man.
So I tell them, listen, I know you guys smoke and I really don't care, but just do me can you wait to get to the hotel?
Right.
Because what's going to happen is just from the secondhand smoke, I'm going to get a buzz, and then I'm going to start eating, and it's going to cost me $50 for dinner because I'm not eating 5 hot dogs,
From a contact high.
And, oh no, then I busted Jim's ass, and I made him buy me a couple of hot dogs. And then he got me drunk. And got me drunk. I woke up in my room with a fairly large woman.
Oh, all right.
In the bed with me.
There you go.
No. I mean, like Nia Jax size. Okay. And that's not exactly my cup of tea, as they say, So I'm like, oh my God. So I got my shit together and I got out of the room and I went down to Jim's room. He was down the elevator, whatever.
She's telling her friends later, I fuck Flick. I fuck Flick.
No. Jim, I knock it on Neidhart's room and I'm like, what did I do? He said, dude, you were all over her, man. He gave me this whole spiel, right? I never bitched. I didn't moan. I didn't blame anybody, nothing. And a couple weeks, like 3 weeks later, finally, he just came. He said, I got to talk to you for a minute. Listen, dude, nothing happened. You passed out in the chair. He goes, I put you over my shoulder. I went to the front desk, got the key, and she needed a place to sleep. So I just told her to go stay in your room because you were out cold. And I was like, oh, thank God. Oh, thank God. Oh, thank God. Yeah. I told Natty that story. I told her what her father did to me. And she goes, that would be my father.
Yeah. That would be Jim.
That would be Dad. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. That's awesome. But I remember when I found out, it blew my mind because the honky tonk man, Wayne, was in town, and he'd been he's getting up there, and he's way overweight, but he was not in a right mind right now. He was kind of, I don't know what he's hopped up on goofers, I think the kids call it these days. But anyway, he got done with his match, and I was walking down these stairs, and he comes walking at the same time. I'm like, Honky, and I stuck my hand out, and I'm expecting, this is the first time I've ever shook a wrestler's hand, and I'm expecting this big crushing hand, like to give me a firm, and he gives me this dead fish. And I was like, what the fuck? It's all sweaty because he just got done with his match, and he's still blowing like this. And finally, somebody told me, he's like, no, wrestlers shake you soft. That means they're going to go soft on you in the ring. They shake you hard. It means they're going to go hard on you in the ring. And I'm like, thank God. Because I'm like one of my, like one of the idols that you watched on fucking WrestleMania and everything. And he hands you this fucking, like he wanted you to kiss his hand. Like,
oh yeah.
I was like, what the fuck?
Unfortunately, most of the guys didn't sock away money. They didn't do a 401k. They didn't buy stock. They spent their money as they went. Not everybody, and they still have to keep going at 60 and 65 and 70. Ugh. And it's sad, that part of it.
Yeah.
Because they've always been independent contractors for the most part until about the last 10, 15 years, whatever. Right. But those old school guys, not much in the way of Social Security, I mean, there were many. There's a difference. Ric Flair, Roddy Piper. Right. Those are your two things, okay? Rick, where's the bar? And would go, who wants a drink? And then he's buying drinks for 20 people, Right. So Rick never saved, whereas Roddy, very rare did he go to the bar and drink.
Right.
He might go to the bar, he'd have lemonade, or he'd have, a nice tea. He'd have once in a while, he would have a drink. Right. The rest of the money, home. Home.
That's my nest egg.
He was, I got the farm up in Montana, got the acreage up there, put that house up there, and made sure that his family was taken care of, and wanted to make sure he was, and
and now Rick's trying to get in the AEW or whatever. You're like, God.
Now listen, how Jay keeps going, God bless his soul,
Yeah. Good for him, man.
Oh yeah. I mean, at least Rick, he's out there, doing the appearances and the signings and, the commercials and stuff, in the days of the party animal, wheeling, dealing and all that. No, that's done. It's enough already. Mid-70s, it's like, okay, it's time. Come on.
I want to hang it up. Before you break a hip. Like,
even the Sheik, even the Iron Sheik. Yeah. The last 10 years, 15 years.
Oh,
I mean, he had, beaten himself up for all but he would go bananas and crazy. You jabroni bastard, you at some beach. And he would do all that shtick, but send the money home. Send the money home.
Send the money home.
Make sure you keep, got to take care of it.
Yeah, he was looking rough that last one. It was, oh God, I bet it's been 7-8 years ago.
Yeah, the last.
He did that, and he could hardly walk. He's like waddling down, like, God damn, get your knees done, dude. You're looking rough.
Sometimes health is not even good enough, By the grace of God, thank goodness, Lawler, Jerry just got his first knee replaced. And it's come around great. He feels much better. Now he's going to get the other one done sometime soon.
Yeah.
And, people saw him. They're like, oh, my God. I'm like, yes, he has 2 bad knees. What do you expect?
You think?
You
think?
But he's getting around much better.
So did Earl Campbell. Yeah, he had some pretty bad.
Oh.
He was walking around with a fucking walker,
The walker, the wheelchair, and you're going, oh my God, it's like he just needs a knee replacement, but the Sheik's health was not good enough to go there, whereas Jerry's was.
Right. And I've been so interested in what you've been talking about and stuff like that. I forgot to actually promote the network that we're on. It's Mosaic TV. If you have an Android device, if you have a Fire Stick, if you have a Roku device, download Mosaic TV. See Scotty, see me, see all of my Worst Holiday episodes. It's Mosaic TV, baby. Scotty, you got the floor. We're going on 45 minutes. I've loved having you on. By the way, my daughter says hello. And I'm like, hey, do you want to talk to Scotty? And she's like, oh, maybe. No, my friends are waiting. That's tempting. I want to go. She's 16. So, yeah. Yeah, exactly.
They
How
got
old are
stuff
we?
to do.
Yeah, no. Okay, I'm going to get the fuck out. So, anyway.
Yeah, so the National Sports Convention, the end of July, beginning of August, Cleveland at the IX Center. You can look it up, National NCCC, National Sports Card Convention, Cleveland. You'll find it. It's also TriStar Productions, who runs the Autograph Pavilion or whatever. Myself and Jerry are going to be there. Then we're up in Toronto, Memorial Day weekend. The end of August, beginning of September. Chiller Theater in Parsippany, New Jersey. I'm always there. It'll be the end of October. It's chillertheater.com. I may not be on the guest list, but I'll be there.
You'll be there. All right.
I'll be there. Listen, I got to go back to Jersey. I got to have my Dominic's Pizzeria at the Somerville Circle. Best pizza in Jersey. It's just fantastic. My boy Vito. Got to do a little pub for my boy Vito.
There you go. You gotta be careful. You gotta be careful that, like, there's one in, like, everybody told me I gotta go to St. Louis and have this one pizza. Everybody's mad about this one fucking pizza. It was garbage. Just the fucking worst. We ordered something else after we ordered that because it wasn't that great. But anyway.
Okay. Hang on.
All right.
So at a previous chiller, I always have my boy Vito from Dominic's bring 10 pies up to the show for celebrities on Friday night. Because the show is from 5 to 11. There's no dinner time. It's hard, you know.
Right.
So I start feeding celebrities pizza. And every celebrity, where did you get this? This is great. Okay, fine. Then I got to the room with Henry Winkler. So Henry just wants some cheese. Okay, fine. Give him a couple slices. All right, fine. We're getting out of the room. He goes, wait, come back. Where did you get this? I said, my friend pizzeria. He goes, I want the address. This is some of the best freaking pizza I've ever had in my home. Can I have a couple more slices? Sure.
Yeah.
So I give him 2 more slices. We went down the hall. We're coming back up the hall, and he actually was watching the door to see when we were crossing the door. He's like, Scotty. I'm like, Henry, you okay? He goes, 2 more slices? So when celebrities who have traveled, have gone, you know, I don't care what city in the United States, that, you know, it's like whatever. But when the guy's like into his 5th and 6th slice of the stuff, I'm telling you, good pizza.
This is the bee's knees.
Dominic
Berries.
Somerville Circle, New Jersey. Yeah, but so I'm always there. And then I know we're going to be in Hartsville, Ohio. Myself and Ralphie, we're going to be there sometime at the beginning of December. You know, so and Salt Lake City Comic Con. That's in September.
Awesome.
Myself and Ralphie.
Awesome.
Your Billingsley
and
will
if
be
you
there.
haven't seen Scotty's movies, go watch The Toy. If you have not seen The Toy with Jackie Gleason, Richard Pryor, and Scott Schwartz, you're missing out. It's a great movie. God.
So The Toy is the most fun.
Yeah.
Christmas Story is the iconic.
Right.
And Kidco is the one that I'm most proud of. So if your listeners go and they'll understand the 3 different things. Most fun, most iconic, best work.
Best work. Okay. Awesome. And as always, you can find me, hang out after we're done here. And as always, you can find me on Mosaic TV, baby. Go to mosaictv.com and download just download it off Roku, off your Amazon Fire Stick, off an Android device. Download Mosaic TV and see people like us. You can also give me money, motherfuckers, at myworstholiday@patreon.com. And always watch me on YouTube and like and comment. It helps me out so much. It helps me out more than you'll ever know. Please do this for me. And for that being said, from a room next to my bathroom in my basement, this has been My Worst Holiday.
And night, everybody. From Miss Elizabeth and from the Mega Powers over there, have a great summer, everybody.